Good day, people. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ernest Jux, and this is my YouTube channel. Here we will discuss more about printing and everything about printing. Mostly we're talking more about flexographic printing machine because it's the latest of all printing presses right now. So we'll be learning more on printing machines, but it will be on a flexographic printing machine. So sit tight, sit relax, and get your pen and papers ready because you're about to learn a lot from this discussion. I will start by explaining what flexographic printing machine is all about and how it works. For those that is not used to or conversant to this kind of printing, you get to know more by the time we do one or two videos more addition to this. For those that are conversant with flexographic printing presses, after listening to this video or watching this video, you have an added knowledge to what you know. Now, flexographic printing types is one of the most versatile and efficient print method available for label printing business. A flexographic print press can help you cut down on wastage, eliminate or minimize rejection of poor print, ensure print registration that is accurate, save production costs, reduces printing cycle times. It helps you also to achieve on-time production. Now let's look on how flexographic printing works. And the idea behind modern flexographic printing or flexo printing are the old ones, having their roots in the letterpress printing techniques, first developed in the 1440s by Johannes Gutenberg. Of course, a lot has changed in the last 600 years, but print historians will be able to see the imprint of history in even the most advanced flexo printing machines. The first flexographic printing machines were developed in the 1890s in Liverpool and have undergone many international incarnations since then. What makes flexographic printing so versatile and popular is its ability to print on almost and every flexible substrate materials. This includes paper, cellophane, metallic films, and plastics, therefore making it ideal for printing food packaging and products labels. These presses are also extremely efficient and cost effective. A modern press can print at the rate of up to 400 meters per minute. It also has the advantage of using a variety of ink types such as water-based, solvent, and UV ink, which make it ideal for almost every application, including those having a high level of health and safety obligations such as food packaging. Now, the process involved in this are kind of broken down in different stages. There are thousands of different types of flexographic printers available, with the best ones made in Europe and USA. Each machine shares a common printing process. So if you're familiar with one flexo printing machine, you'll be able to understand them all because they have these common processes despite they are being manufactured by different manufacturer. But there is a basic process that all of them uses. So if you're conversant with one type, you can easily understand the other type. So before we start talking about the printing itself, we must talk about the art of print, which is the plate making process. Now in printing, there's what we call flexographic plate. This plate carries the image itself that is supposed to be printed. So without the flexographic plate, there will not be any print. So let's talk about more of the plate so we'll understand how the print itself works and the processes. The most important element of flexographic print is the printing plate, which contains the images and the text to be printed in negative as a mirror image. A separate plate needs to be made for each color used in the print run. Plate metering is an art and science all of its own. There are three methods that have been used historically. The first one is the metallic plate etching or rubber plate. The print plate is first etched negative onto a metallic plate made of zinc or magnesium, which is then washed in an acid bath. The image will appear in the bas relief on the plate. A second stage creates a plastic mold, which is then utilized to fashion the final printing plate out of a flexible thermoplastic polymer. This is an expensive and time-consuming method, and it's rarely used these days. And another type of plates making system is the photo etching or photopolymer plate. Here, the print image is etched through a photonegative directly onto a light-sensitive polymer plate by means of ultraviolet light. When the polymer hardens, it is then washed out in a bath of water or solvent at a temperature of about 40 degrees Celsius. This is the most commonly used method. We also have this kind of digital plate making or digital plates. Most modern methods use a digital image to direct a computer operated laser to etch the printing plate. This eliminates a photonegative and is now the fastest growing techniques for plate making. Now with the plate itself, printing can proceed because without the plate, there will not be any print. Now let's look at the printing itself. To begin the print process itself, the printing plate that has been produced based on the kind of job to be printed are mounted on a cylinder, then loaded into the machine. As each color needs a separate plate, it is essential that the plates are mounted correctly on the press so that the image are transferred to the substrate accurately. Most printing press uses specialist video assisted mounting machine to make sure every plate is aligned and positioned appropriately. When the run is due to begin, ink is transferred from the ink tank through a fountain or metering roller and then onto an Analox or ceramic ruler. This regulates the deposit of inks onto the printing plate and ensure an even coverage of ink. The Analox ruler has its surface covered with thousands of tiny cells, like impression that acts like a tiny corpse. To avoid ink flooding on or patchiness, a doctor blade is used to clear the Analox roller of excessive ink. This prevents smudging when the plate is driven through the impression cylinder to make contacts with the substrate. Now there must be a doctor blade. The doctor blade is a very important element too, so that with heat we can able to get a fine print during our printing processes. When the printed image is transferred to the substrate, the ink needs to dry as quickly as possible. This can be effected through fan-powered infrared dryers or by ultraviolet curing, which is known as UV, depending on the ink type. Now, with this, we want to talk more on the components of Flexo. All Flexo press have a similar suite of components. Now, these components can be divided into the feed and unwind station, the printing station, the drying station, and the chiller rollers, the die cutting and converting. And we can also add the last one, which is the outfade or rewinding section. Now let's take them one by one. The feed and unwind station controls the substrate. It is essential because through this feeding is done. The substance is essentially fed into the press at a predefined tension constantly, even as the diameter of the roll changes. The unwind system should have automatic web guide, an option for web cleaning, and a corona treatment for synthetic substrates. Now, the corona treatment helps to treat the surface of the materials that is supposed to be printed on so that there will be good adhesion of ink onto the substrate. And also, the web guide helps to align the materials during printing. Now we have the printing station. The printing station needs to provide a smooth and stable drive to ensure the printed image is clean and vibration free. The basic flexographic system includes an ink storage tank, one or more fountain, rollers, Anilux rollers, and plate cylinder. The ink is picked up from the tank by the metering roller, which wets the Anilux roller, and then ink transferred to the plate cylinder, which holds the printing plate, and then onto the impression cylinder, which carries the substrate. The image is transferred from the plate to the substrate before repeating the continuous process. Together, the two cylinders are sometimes known as the print anvil. Now, the drying station. At the drying station, which is another unit also, each color should be dried before the next is applied to the substrate. The drying section might include a combination of infrared and air drying or UV LED curing or both system. Better machine will ensure the drying intensity is matched to the press speed, which can be variable with different application. In terms of this, it tells that as the press is moving at different speed, the temperature of drying should increase. Now we have the chiller rollers. With the growing use of ever tiny synthetic and unsupported film, there is a need to control the web temperature to ensure the substrate remains stable through the press. This is even more critical when using UV drying system, which inherently creates a lot of heat. The addition of chiller roller provides that control, so it helps to keep the material stable without extensions by regulating the temperature. Now the die cutting and converting section. They are more they are more commonly found on narrow web presses for production of labels, tickets, and cartons. Products can be cut, creased, folded, stamped, embossed, perforated, all in line in the same operation as printing. Therefore, producing a finished product or label in rolls or sheets forms. Die cutting models need to be built with heavy duty components for the high level of pressure required to convert flexible web up to 300 GSM. And lastly, we have the outfed and the rewinding section. The outfed section maintains tension as the substance leaves the print press by means of tension control sensor. Waste products are rewinded out of the system and the final products are rewinded onto the large roll for later inspection. Now, this processes is like a general process in flexograph printing. Now, after this stage of printing, the printed roll is taken to a different machine that inspects, slits, and rewind, and also count per labels. And such machine is called an inspection and slitting machine. But in my next video, we'll be talking more on the inspection and slitting machine, and also we'll be segregating each part and talk in depth on each section, like the mounting section, how to mount, and the cylinder types, and how to cut your plates, and the ounces that is allowed for you to cut out of the plate, and do a video training on these processes so you're able to understand. My next video, more of this should be done. Subscribe so you can get more of my videos. Thank you and watch out for more videos.